Morning, everybody. Happy Monday, Mindset Monday. I'm seeing quite a few people logging on now. I love, love, love this. Please turn your cameras on. I love seeing your beautiful faces, and it throws me more energy too. And if you can turn those cameras on, it would be fantastic. Hey, I am excited today. Agent Power Huddle, goodness, we've been going on now for I think almost 4 years. I was one of the people that started this early in the day, week. So now I haven't been on for a couple weeks, and I miss you guys when I'm gone. So I'm glad to be here with you today on Mindset Monday. And again, if you can I know people don't like turning their cameras on, but I'll tell you, you even get more out of it when you're able to interact. And I'm somebody who I'm going to give you a great topic today. Hopefully, I'm going to launch your week with high energy, with productivity, and I want you going with profitability too this week. But in any case, if you turn those cameras on and you want to engage, just unmute yourself because I love that interaction. So either way, today is a topic called 7 transformative questions to ask yourself is really about self-empowerment. 7 transformative questions. And so come up with my topics just before we dive in and everything here is I usually try to see what's either going on in my world with my business, or I'm talking to other agents. And this last week, I spent some time with a few different agents doing some consultations with them at different times. It was funny. I just kind of felt like the same thread of things coming up in these conversations. So I really felt like this 7 transformative questions are very powerful, and they can help me, they can help you, they can help anybody and everybody. So let's dive into some of these right here. So I'm going to open up with, in times where you're feeling maybe extremely challenged, right? We've got new challenges and shifts that have happened in our market. Hopefully you're starting out 2025 with a bang. But if you're not, and I don't want you to give, right? Obviously it's early on in the year. There's so much we can do to have a powerfully productive and abundant 2025. If you're finding that you're in some extremely challenging times, or things may not be working out quite as you want them to right away, well, the problem sometimes in that is we keep asking ourselves some of the same disempowering questions, and therein lies a big problem. Some of those things are the questions that people will ask themselves when they're not getting quite what they want is, how did I get here? Why does this keep happening to me? I had one agent this week, and she had a couple deals fall out of escrow. Why does this keep happening to me? What am I doing wrong? Stop those questions, because those questions are absolutely disempowering you. They're taking your mindset into a place of you're doing something wrong. And pardon me, because I've got a screen on my side that's giving me some pop-ups. It was annoying. All right, so stop those things. The precious knowledge is within us. There's seeds inside of us that are just waiting to be nourished, to grow, and to show up. And the problem with these disempowering questions is it takes you to a place that you can't let those things grow. You just kind of get stuck. Right. So this is getting unstuck. These questions are going to transform you in many, many ways. So listen in. All right. So think about like this. Questions are actually reflective mirrors into ourselves that can tap into some powerful, powerful resources. If we keep asking ourselves the wrong questions, then we can start getting into this cycle. And thank you for turning your camera on. Hopefully we've got some more cameras turned on, because I know we've got several people listening in today. But here's the thing. You keep finding yourself doing these cycles, you've got to say, well, why is this happening over and over and over again? Be conscious of it. You've heard the definition of insanity. Hopefully, if you haven't, you're going to hear it right now. It's doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. Well, if you're having that kind of thing happening to you, then I want you to listen in very closely today, because we're going to share a list of questions with you that I really believe they're going to be very revealing, empowering, and transformative to your life. I've done these myself. I've taken the time, and I want you to know that what you want to do with these 7 questions, jot them down today. But I want you to really take some time with yourself and actually answer these questions in depth, and just let your pen flow. Okay. Answer them without any judgment, without any forethought. The first question is, what is possible for me right now that I was not able to do last year? That's an interesting question, isn't it? What's possible for me right now that I wasn't able to do last year? So this is an incredibly potent question. Why is it so? Because in difficult times, we tend to focus on things like what's holding us back, right? What's or limiting beliefs or hurts that have come up, or your escrow may have fallen out, or something like that. We want to shift that thought process. We fail to often see what we can do. And this question is going to bring to the forefront some of the growth that has taken place for you just in the last year. When you start focusing your shift of perspective into what can I do? What's the empowering thing that I can do now today? A year ago, I wasn't able to do it. Is that video? Is it making more phone calls? Is it getting into a farm area and start walking again? By the way, that is something I have personally done. I'm happy to even talk more about that. I've hired it out for years. And now guess what? I've gotten back to basics and gone out into the farms myself and am loving it. I kind of feel like I've sparked another excitement after all these years in the business, getting out into the farm areas and walking. I coach with Krista Mayshore, and so we do these CMA drop-offs. But, it's something a year ago I wasn't doing. And now, not only is it great to get into the farm areas, I'm already getting some traction from that, getting new listings. I've already just closed another deal from that. But also, it's good physically for me. I'm walking like I've even done 9 miles, but that's 6 to 7 miles in a day, getting the physical exercise. So the question, what is possible for you right now that a year ago you weren't doing? Look at that. All right. Also, it could be, what lessons did you learn? Lessons did you learn from maybe things you did a year ago that you're like, okay, putting the line in the sand, I'm not doing this anymore. It's a lesson you might have learned. One of those ones for me was trusting in my gut. Trusting my gut. Don't make fear-based decisions. When came to that aha moment over a year ago and put that line in the sand, it was a real awakening of, I'm not going to make a decision because of fear. You need to find out and say, trust your gut. What's that instinctive feeling that's coming up that you might saying, I think this is the right move, but something is still nagging at me. Pay attention to that nagging. What's possible for me right now I wasn't able to do a year ago, and focus on those things and get even better at them. That was question number one. Question number two is, how do I want to feel? How do I want to feel? Or, excuse my voice here. I was not on the last few episodes, by the way, because I strained a vocal cord. It's getting better, but I do still squeak quite a bit. So, what's a particularly challenging situation that maybe you're facing right now? It could be something, if it was anger, hurt, resentment, scarcity, fear. This is some of the things I'm hearing as I'm meeting with some of these agents. And you want to ask yourself, well, how do you ultimately want to feel? Obviously, you want to feel joy, right? Harmony, peace, closure, security, enthusiasm, energy. You want to feel empowered, right? These are the feelings that you want to focus and shift those feelings like, oh my God, that escrow just fell out here. This isn't going right, or that isn't going right. And shift it to, where do you really want to feel, and put your focus on that direction. Feelings are going to guide us. Some people might disagree with me with that, but I am very adamant that I totally believe feelings will guide us for good or for bad. What you focus on expands. I've been coached by multiple different coaches over the years. And I'll tell you, that's one, again, common thread that shows up is what we focus on expands. So for the good or the bad, guys, how do you want to feel? We can channel that. We can use these feelings to serve us. So one powerful step we want to do is just choose consciously and deliberately how we want to feel and act purposefully on that. I will always use myself as an example, because everything I teach or lead, I do. All right. And so one of the mantras is either find a word or that, if somehow you want to feel and use it as a mantra. I have a little phrase I use and I use it as a mantra. And I learned this again from my coaching. And it's, I am 100% capable of blank. I'm 100% capable. And fill in the blank. I'm 100% capable of getting back out in the farm areas myself because I need to get back to those basics of rooting myself to my farms, of showing up, of meeting people, of getting back and getting more exercise. I'm 100% capable of, you know, at least 100 houses in 1 hour. I know right away, I've done it enough, plenty of times that I can walk 100 houses in an hour. That comes. But in any case, 6, 7 miles. I'm 100% capable of shooting 3 videos today. I'm 100% capable of that. So what is that for you? Identify that. All right. The third question is, what can I enjoy more of? And camera's on. I love seeing you guys. Um, what can I enjoy more of? All right. Well, this doesn't always all have to be work, or maybe you're enjoying more. When I said I got back into my farm areas, I was really doing a lot of the online, which we still have online lead generation, those the pay per clicks, the Google, all that kind of stuff, and the phones. And yes, we will always do those kind of things. And yet I wasn't finding joy in it. So there's a lot of ways to be successful, guys, in real estate. And it's not just picking up the phone for 3 hours a day, right? Maybe that's your thing, and that's okay. But it might be getting out to the farm areas. It might be doing community events, all these different things. You want to enjoy what you're doing. At the end of the day, whatever you choose, it's not sustainable if you're not enjoying it. Would you agree with that? If you give me a thumbs up or something, you got to enjoy it. So what is within reach though, if you push a little bit harder, that you'd have a breakthrough? Push a little bit harder, you'd have a breakthrough. What's something that you used to do that for whatever reason you stopped doing it? This could be personal or professional. What's something that brings you that joy that's going to juice you? That really is going to juice you. And that's why I've had fun when by the way, the agents I've been meeting with lately, they've been contacting me just because they see that I'm out and about with boots on ground getting into my farms again, and they're doing the same thing, but they have questions. So I'm consulting and helping them with what's going on, what the results are and everything else. But what are you asking that question? Question is, what can I enjoy more of? Question number 3. Maybe it's spending more time with your family. Maybe it's you've been working 24/7 and you need to have some work-life balance there. Just look around and find out what are those things that you really enjoy and start implementing some of that back into your life. Question number 4 is, what is unique? What's unique about me, right? Say that to yourself. What is unique about me? What is unique about you? Okay. I'm going to slow my voice down a little bit because I want to hammer this one. We are being consistently bombarded these days on social media with information on how to be, how to act, how to look, what to buy, what to do over and over. And it's coming at us in all these different directions. And all of these things are just imposing their own definition of being successful. There's a lot that can look like in so many different ways about being successful, but this is constant overstimulation. Constant overstimulation, sometimes it can diminish us. I hate to say it, I'm just being really authentic with you. We want to celebrate everybody's wins, of course. And, you don't want to sit there going, could be comparing up and all that kind of stuff. At the same time, when you're on a path and you are driving, and you've got your plan and you're, taking massive action. I want to say that again, taking massive action to get the results. And maybe the results don't show up immediately. I mean, we all wish they would, but sometimes that's what they call it. Farming, by the way, is it takes the seeds to plant. Then you've got to nurture it to grow it, right? But in the meantime, you've got social media and everybody going all around you with all these different things. And you can say, well, why is what I'm not doing working that fast? And it can make you feel a certain way. So here's the thing. if you're feeling confused or depressed or sad, and when you start seeing some of these things, because you're feeling like, well, maybe your action is not working as fast as it could be or as people are, just stop right there. And if you need to take a break, mute, delete, unfollow, take a break from social media for a little bit, keep your ads, whatever going. I'm not talking about that, but I'm just saying dial it down a bit and just stay focused. I'm going like this because what I'm talking about here, and this was a conversation I had with our agent this week. And by the way, he's doing over 100 deals a year. And he said, Susan, I got my blinders on. And I said, wow, that's something that people used to say to me all the time is, man, I get my blinders on and I tune everything else and say laser focused on the results I want to achieve. And I don't let anything get and stand in my way. I'm going right after it. And that's what he was taught. We had this great conversation because again, sometimes things don't show up now. You got to believe and trust in your gut. If you're doing all the right actions consistently, the results have been proven over and over and over again by many of us over the years. And so I'm really hammering this down because these are some of the conversations I had this week. They're like, I'm doing it. And that's when, like, especially if you do farming or you start to call and you hang up because you're getting no. Remember, Mike Ferry would say he'd go down a whole line of people, pick up the phone and he gets a no, no, no. What motivated Mike to keep getting on the phones? He knows that with enough no's, there's going to be a yes. All right. So the no's weren't bothersome to him, where some people will get the no's and they shrink. Am I making some sense here? What's unique about you? Finding that it factor, something that's going to juice you to continue to do it day in and day out, knowing 150% that you are capable of doing it, that you are on the right track. There are proven results that you've seen, and you keep pushing through and staying consistent. And sometimes that requires blinders to be put on. All right. What's unique about you? All right. I also want you to make a list about not only what you think is unique about you, because interestingly enough, sometimes we think certain things are unique about us, things that people have said about you over the years. Think about something somebody has said about you over the years. One of the things I get a lot is I love your energy. I love your energy. And I take that as such a huge compliment. That really is something I've heard over the years. I've got a lot. You guys are on Zoom right now. I usually teach classes like at the Board of Realtors live and in person. I interact with everybody in the crowd and bring them into the conversation. And it's really fun. But I do have a lot of energy. And so that's one of the things I wrote down. On the reverse side of that, I'm like, well, sometimes the energy can be too much for some people, and that's okay too. Not everybody's right for everybody. Think about what's unique about you, and emphasize that. Get on that. All right. You're a gift, and you need to understand that we all have special gifts, and you need to play to those strengths. I'm going a little off topic here. Some of you may know Tony Robbins has a DISC behavioral assessment. A lot of us in the industry, we've taken this for years. Some people don't even know about it, but you can go to anthonyrobbins.com. It's free. Scroll down to the bottom. You take it to these DISC assessments are actually for my husband's business. I'm helping him with some of his team. But my point being is you find out what your strengths are. You find out some of the things that you might be challenged with, and you want to emphasize those areas in your life, in your business, to transform it. If you're not sure, take that DISC assessment. It's very telling, and it's not the end all be all, but I'll tell you, you learn a lot about yourself. You really do. And you want to, continue to embrace your uniqueness. All right. Number 5. All right. This one is the biggie too. All these questions are very purposeful in transformation of your life. Okay. What kind of experiences do I want to have? Remember, not everything's about business, guys. Your business funds your life. Your business funds your life. Your business funds your family. Okay. So when you think about what kind of experiences do I want to have? Our lives go by very quickly, everybody. And I lost 2 friends this week. I mean, how sad is that? I mean, 2 friends passed away this week, and it hits me hard. And then we went to dinner with some other friends the other night, and we were talking just about our bucket lists. And, when you think about a bucket list, oftentimes it seems like it's years out. And I know we've got many different ages on this Agent Power Huddle, and where no matter where you are, I want you to really think about what experiences do you want to have. Older we get, our mortality starts to really show up, and we start paying a little more attention about who we want to be around. We always said this: no matter how old you are, it doesn't even matter. Pay attention of who you're spending your time with, because you want to make sure you stay in a really good, strong mind space, and you don't have people that are bringing you down or sucking the energy out of you and all that kind of thing. Supporting you, whom you can turn around and support them, the circles of your tribe, and how you're going to experience what you really want to experience in this life, right? So, what are some of the kind of things you want to experience? I mean, when I turned 60 this year, that's 60, you know, I'm thinking, "Oh, goodness, these bucket list items," I'm talking like in the next 10 years. We used to do 10-year plans, and it seemed like, man, that was way far away, but it flies by in a snap. Who do you wanna be around? Where do you wanna go? What do you wanna do? Get some clarity on that, because time just flies. What do you wanna do with your husband or your wife or your children? These are the transformative questions that will be very purposeful. And it doesn't have to be any major trip. Maybe it is a major trip. Maybe it's going to Disneyland. Maybe it's just getting out and getting some more exercise and taking walks with your significant other, going down to the beach. We did that. We only live an hour from the beach, from the ocean, but we had some friends in town. Why does it take friends in town for the two of us to go down and take a walk on the beach? But it was amazing, and it felt good to change up what we do on a daily basis. Okay. What kind of experiences do I want to have? And who do I want to share these experiences with? That's a very transformative question. And do not let those things just fall onto a someday list, because folks, someday may never show up. My 2 friends that passed this last week, one of them was very unexpected. The other one, well, she lived for, oh goodness, 12 years longer than we all had expected. We were hoping. I mean, she was a fighter, but my goodness, it's amazing how everything she did was with power and energy and a great attitude. And you could see her sharing the most amazing times with her family. I hate to say live like you're dying, but if you've heard that song, Live Like You're Dying, you tend to take more risks. You tend to realize my time is very precious and very valuable with who I share it with, and be purposeful in that. Number 6, how can I do things differently? How can I do things differently? If you're going round and round in circles on the same issue, that question is going to just snap you out of it. How can I do things differently? Sometimes we need somebody else's perspective, by the way. We can get into, like I said, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, and that's insanity. So you might want to say, look, I'm going to go ahead and show what I'm doing to somebody else, and, a mentor, and say, hey, can you put your eyes on this? Because this is what I'm doing. This is my business plan. This is the actions I'm taking. What do you see? Am I on the right track in your opinion? What do you think maybe I should do differently? It's really valuable to do that. And I got to tell you, I don't care how long I'm 25 plus years now in the industry, and I have no problem asking for help from somebody else. I did a while ago when my ego was saying, I should know this already. Stop it. Somebody's done more than me. Somebody's done more than you. You've done more than other people. You can turn around and help them. Don't be afraid to look at that and say, hey, what do I need to do differently? There's certainty and safety in routines. And that's where a lot of people fall into that. They want to have a routine. And I believe in systems and routines, wash, rinse, and repeat. And yet the results need to show up. If the results aren't showing up, get a second set of eyes on it. All right. What can you do differently? Get a different perspective. Ask for help. That is exactly what you can do to get a breakthrough. All right. Number 7, this is the last one we're wrapping up. And it kind of is a little piggyback on the last one, which is, what do I need? That's an empowering question. And we can go so fast sometimes, and we're on our path, we're working our plans, we're taking our massive action, and we don't slow down enough to say, what do I need? What do I need to really make things happen? All right, this could be one of the most important questions you ask yourself. If you're feeling overwhelmed, all right, first of all, I'm going to add in what my coach says, Krista. You guys probably see Krista. I think she comes on here time to time. Anyway, overwhelm means you're growing. And it's been a hard one for me because I'll get overwhelmed and I'm like, really? This means I'm growing? Well, yeah, it does, because it means you're taking more risks. You're pushing yourself a little bit harder. You're getting overwhelmed. It might something new. If we shrink back, guys, we shrink back into just your daily routines and you don't take further risks and you don't push yourself a little bit more, a little bit harder, you may not feel that feeling of overwhelm. But when you finally do and you start taking more risks and doing more things, remember, you're 100% capable. Well, you might say, well, what do I need? Because I don't quite understand how to do this. Well, you need to ask for that help. You need to find somebody in your tribe, in your circle, on Agent Power Huddle that you can resource with and say, what am I going to need to do this more videos? What am I going to need to get more views? What am I going to need to convert more online leads? What am I going to need to get out into a farm area and show up? What am I going to need? What am I going to need to lose more weight? What am I going to need to have a better mindset and focus? That's getting gear at Age of Power Riddle. What am I going to need? Big question, isn't it? In 4 words, what do I need? That is a huge question. That's life transforming for you. Sometimes you need time off. Sometimes you need rest. So my vocal strain, by the way, my doctor told me too. He said, you are not sick. You strained your vocal cord by talking to you much. Because you can tell I like to talk. At the same time, sometimes it's stress and overwhelm because I'm trying to do too many different things. And what did it do? Forced rest. Forced rest. I don't want you to get to that point that your vocal cord's strained. Whatever it takes, understand that sometimes if you get to that point, you either push through, like I said, and getting more help and all that and overwhelm. But sometimes you also have to recognize, and your mentor, whoever's the second eyes that are taking a look on what you're doing, can guide you with to say, take a step back. Just breathe. Would you just breathe? One more example, because I know we're going to wrap up, but here's a great example of this. I get a lot of you are probably the same way. If I don't have a lot of listings coming up or something like that, I get very anxious. I guess this over the years. And in December, I like to start the year with appointments, with listings, and for some reason, the end of December, I was in Idaho seeing my family, and my daughter was having a baby shower. I had one for her here, but she was having a baby shower out there. And though I'd already had one for her here, I really wanted to stay. I wanted to stay for my daughter's baby shower out in Idaho, but I was putting this tremendous pressure on my own shoulders, and anxiety was happening to me that I'm like, dang it, I need to get back to work. I need to get home. I need to get back to work. January's approaching. You're at the starting gate. We want to hit strong. And finally, I don't know, but between my husband's support and my friends saying, just stay a few extra days. Enjoy the baby shower. Just stay. You know what happened? I can't even make this up. So my husband was flying home earlier. We take him to the airport. He gets out of the car. He no sooner kiss him goodbye. He walks through the double doors to the airport. The doors close. I sit in the car with my kids and my phone rings. And guess what I get? A listing appointment. When I get back, I've got a listing appointment, and it's booked for when I'm home. I'm like, I just had to freaking let it go, put my priorities in line, spend some time with my kids, take a breath. And guess what happened? My business started flowing in, showing up. I can't make it up. By the way, on the way home, I'm in the airport in Vegas, another appointment. I'm on the phone with my husband. I'm going, this is amazing. This is what I teach. But, when it shows up, we share these stories. And that's why when I'm in a live class, I might, I'm sharing all my stories as I'm sitting here talking to you on this Agent Power Huddle and on a screen. But I'll tell you, this is where it's really fun when you start getting into a class or getting into small group discussions, because we start hearing other people's stories, because I'm sure you guys have some of these stories too. So what do I need? I needed to take a little breath. I needed to just be where I was supposed to be, which was my daughter and her baby shower. I was supposed to be there with full support of my husband and my friends saying, Susan, stop, get out of that work mode, get those blinders off and put the blinders on your family. See the difference? What do I need? Ask yourself that question. And you know what? You need to communicate those needs. I had to communicate what I was going through with my husband and my friends that were there. And they were the voices of reason to me to make me shift my blinders and say, okay, I'm going to do this. And when I did that, it was like a world opening up. Sometimes we get in our own way. You see, we get in our own way. So take this, I hope you take these 7 questions very seriously. And you can listen back to the podcast again and see, if you didn't jot them all down. But ask yourself those questions. And I'm going to end here because we're about 2 minutes over with a quote. And the quote is this. I don't know who wrote the quote, but the quote is this: powerful questions evoke clarity, create greater possibility, reveal new learning, and they generate action. All right. Powerful questions evoke clarity, create great possibility, reveal new learning, and generate action. So with that, I want to thank you for tuning in today. I want to encourage you to listen back to all these. I know I can't get on every single day, but listen back. You can go on the YouTube channel. You can go on the Facebook page. Listen back to these Agent Power Huddles. There's so much powerful information. We've got amazing leaders throughout the country that get on these Agent Power Huddles. We are all here for you. Go have a great, powerful, productive, and high energy week. And it was great having you guys here today. Thanks for joining us.
If you'd like more information or to get connected to the Agent Power Huddle, join our free Facebook group. This call was designed for the agents in our EXP organization, but open to any agent from any brokerage. If you're a guest and you're interested in learning more about EXP or our specific resources within the Agent Collective, reach out to the person who invited you to this call to get more info. Produced by the Agent Collective Media Network.